Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Schmoedown Night in Canada. I'm your friendly neighborhood soda, joined by the taco-in-law himself. And today we have two very special guests. We have Jay Wade from the Speaking of Schmoedown Network, and we have fellow, honorary Schmo of the North, Snark. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. All I smell is cheese right now, but that's for another time.
That's what I like about those high school girls. I get old, they stay the same age.
Yeah. So, we're not here to talk about how that happened. Like I said, that's for Schmoes of the North after hours. No, we're here to talk about the latest Schmoedown Versus, which today consisted of could be easily main event any of the normal pay-per-views. We had in the first match, we had Paul Oyama versus Ethan Irwin, and the winner of that match went on to face the winner of Ben Bateman versus John the Outlaw Roca. And the winner of those two would be face each other in a number one contenders match later on down the line. What do you guys think of the card? It pretty much went as everyone thought it would, eh?
Yeah, it's two headlining cards. Two headlining matches, same card. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. It's the two matches I've been waiting to happen. Hey, Ben, what's up? I've been waiting for both of these matches ever since all these guys that's last played, and they kind of hinted at this mini tournament, and I kept going like, so when are we getting this on the schedule? When are we going to see these four guys play? And then no one knew what the schedule was until like 4:00 on Monday, and everyone found out at once, and it's like, this Friday we get to see this?
Yeah.
I think our entire private chat exploded the second we found it. We're all like, oh my god. Like, starting the week with freaking with Thomas Harper and Ace, and then ending it with this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we're very spoiled in this day and age in the Schmoedown. That is for sure.
Great week in the Schmoedown, boys.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? What were your thoughts on the card tonight?
Oh no.
No, I don't know. Well, you guys know me, man. My show about Schmoedown is from a sports kind of competition angle, so I think about it a little bit differently. And for example, here, my favorite baseball team, sometimes I can't stand watching them play. I like them a lot, but it's either boring or slow, or I just don't enjoy watching them play sometimes. I like Paul Oyama a lot, but sometimes I just don't enjoy matches that he's in. And I know that can easily be taken as like a harsh criticism of him in some way. I don't even know exactly why, but there's just sometimes I really enjoy his matches, and other times that I just kind of don't. And this one, to be honest, man, it was a great match. I enjoyed it overall, but I just kind of wanted it to end so we could get to the main card. And maybe that had something to do with it too. You know, maybe I was so excited for the main card that I just couldn't get myself hyped for the first match. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it has nothing at all to do with Oyama. I don't know. But the first match I could have done without with personally. I just wanted the headliner.
Well, that was Jay Wade. You guys can see on his channel. He's got to go right now, but he doesn't know stuff that he can say bull crap like that on.
Honestly, he's not entirely wrong. Like, it was a good match, but it's just out of the two, it just seemed like this was the more we're having fun, whereas the other one felt more like it felt in the Schmoedown. Like, I'm in terms of how like the whole thing, like there was stakes in there. You know, you had the story going in. The other one was more it just felt like a match.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Well, I believe Oyama even said during the post-match interview that he dropped a lot of character work because he respects Irwin so much, and they just played. Yeah. And I get
it was
that.
Great, but
it's not
agreeing with Jay compared to what was in the main event. It's a little bit on the I sympathize with that point of view.
But honestly, if we had any other matches besides like you said, we've been spoiled, and especially the way last week was with that team match, like the level of play lately, it's like we're getting spoiled. Like and I feel like our standards are just going so much that now if we just get a normal good match, we're like, yeah. All right, what is it, like 16-15 after the second round? That's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's like any form of sports. Like if you go back and look at like a hockey game from the 1970s, if you look at, the Yankees of the 1930s, you go look at the Lakers of the 80s, like all sports evolve over time. Like there's going to get so newer people might find the older stuff boring because of that. Because everything has evolved.
And also let's be honest, if you're looking at it from a competition angle, you mentioned the Yankees there, and they don't win as often now as they had that huge streak in the past, man.
Yeah, definitely not right now either.
Mid 70s and up into the early 80s before the Big Red Machine. Yeah. His dad was on that Big Red Machine, by the way.
That's that's his dad's number. I know that.
But sometimes you can just go. Sometimes someone can be so good that it just is boring or not interesting. Like I heard so many, like my dad and my uncles used to talk about when the Yankees were on those year-long runs that sometimes it just was like, dude, who cares about watching it? You know what's going to happen. And, and sometimes that can happen too with hot players. Not to say that either one of these two, Irwin or Oyama, are that much better than the other one. But just sometimes things can be so good for so long that sometimes you just kind of check out.
This match felt more like it belonged in like season 3-4. That's kind of how it
I think if it wasn't 3 and 4, we would have been blown away because by today's standards, this is a good match. But by then, it would have been like double dewberries. Like, remember, they both went perfect in round 1 and in round 3, and there was just a couple hiccups in round 2. That's an amazing match any other year.
Yeah, like I said, really the match itself was good. It's just it almost felt underwhelming emotionally, if that makes sense.
It lacked the intensity of other matches.
Exactly, that's what it lacked.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm like the only positive guy.
No, I love the match. I love watching both of them. I'm a huge Ethan Irwin fan. Paul Oyama, since he's gone over to Swag, has really turned it around in my books and stuff like that. I do love those little nitpicky asshole characters. I love them. But every once in a while, when somebody is good and they can just be themselves and be good, I prefer that. So I thought Oyama is way more personable now. I think he's a much better interview now. I don't understand why he wants to stick with the start your clocks or set your clocks or whatever. You can start bringing in more fresh stuff for sure. But I wouldn't say I was disappointed by seeing those two today for sure. I loved it.
To answer Ben's question in the chat, no, I don't think we've seen a lot of character work from Ethan. But he's just not that kind of player.
Yeah, he's like Dan in a way.
Yeah.
He's entertaining though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
He can pull off some funny zingers here and there that actually get me moving. But I want to talk about expectations. So we a lot of times like to start the show asking who we had going into this match. And I asked the question weeks and weeks ago, pretty much right when we learned about that this was going to happen, and pretty much like the singles picture for this first part of the year. I asked who the winner between like the Janine Marisol, Kevin Smith, who is that guy going to play? So out of all of these 4 people and Dan, who is it going to be? And I'm pretty sure everyone on the show said Paul Oyama. And I did. And I thought he looked insanely good. I mean, winning the free-for-all, all that stuff. I said before today, like right before I put it in our chat, like, Oyama's got this. Roca got this. I was wrong both, and I own it. But I thought the Roca Ben could go either way. I thought Paul had it, period. I didn't think it could go either way, and I was wrong. But I really thought he had a really hard favorite. But
yeah, I went with Paul as well because, well, Ethan had pretty much said he hasn't played a singles match in almost a year. So, I mean, Paul coming in had more, well, I guess more momentum because he's been playing a lot more.
And he's been winning really well.
He's firing on all cylinders.
I liked Ethan in this match, but I know that he has not looked. Maybe it's just that he hasn't looked comfortable in his last couple of matches, hasn't performed as well. I thought Oyama could take it for sure.
Well, he's in Hawaii, so he's probably just too busy relaxing.
They're both in Hawaii.
Right. I'll ask you guys something. because it happened in both matches, and I'm not going to make a big stink about it, but I'm just wondering, do you guys watch the countdown clock and as it's counting down and Christian does the 5-second countdown? Because it was a couple times tonight on a cut. It did it once in round 2 for Oyama. We're talking about the fucking match. But
hi Randy. That's a friend of mine.
he was 5 seconds off on the countdown. And I mean
you're right.
I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Now, was the timer off or was he off?
Like they got extra seconds, and he was off in the bad way.
Jay Wade, are you sure that the timer wasn't off, or that he was off? Because maybe we were just not getting a 15, we're getting 10, and they were doing.
At one point, you heard Ethan's audio before you saw the video move.
Yeah.
So that's probably why, because they had said to Swag, you got to bear with us here because of potential lag.
Yeah.
So
I'm listening to Ellis finish the question and then waiting for the timer to start. That's what I'm looking at. And then as it gets down, when it did this specific, or the one time in the first match, it got down. The clock was on almost 0 before Christian even started the 5-second countdown.
I noticed that when it happened, and I was wondering if it was just a fluke or what it was. But it literally, I'm like, he's not answering yet, and then it goes to 0. I'm like, he hasn't answered. What are they going to do? And then I heard 5, 4, and I'm like, what?
They might have something timed out in their private chat or whatever. They knew that there was lag. So there must have been something that was like, okay, we know that we have to give them 5 seconds to actually hear the question or whatever it is. Right?
And I'm curious, once we actually see the final product, if anyone goes back and watches after we watch it this way. I don't. But I wonder if when it's edited, all that will be fixed.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to make a fuss about it. It's an observation. It happened. So. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, anyways, what are some of the highlights of the match for you? Like, for me, like Ethan Irwin did really good in Audrey Hepburn category because that is known to be one of Paul's big strengths.
Well, yeah, he got a miss in it. My wife took the notes, so let's hope they're right.
Well, you probably read them at least.
No, better handwriting. I don't know why she took up a full page, and I was like, honey, I'm trying to put both of these in the same. Like, she's like, wrote one note, and then down here finished it. I'm like, why? What are you doing? But anyways, besides that, it says that he missed his second question, Audrey Hepburn, and then he went down to 1, I believe, 1 point at the end. But, yeah, I don't, unless I got the wrong notes. But either way.
He got full marks or full points on 3 of them, and then he got there was the 1 steal or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he got 6 points.
I can't read her notes. But yeah, I mostly got it right. But I mean, he did end with 1 point higher, and it is a hard category. I did not do good on Audrey Hepburn. Like, if it isn't freaking, is that the Breakfast at Tiffany's one, or is that somebody else?
That's Breakfast at Tiffany's.
That's the only one I know. Yeah.
Roman Holiday and.
I only know Breakfast.
How many musicals she been in there, Matt?
Musicals? My Fair Lady, I think, is the only one she's done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. That's one more than I knew too.
I just noticed Snark changed his name to Burrito Jones, and I'm a little mad about that. I'm a little mad. Yeah.
All right, what about the rest of you guys? Was there anything from this match that popped out to you?
Well, they finally had a question about the man who knew too little.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was so happy when they started talking that question. I was like, yes.
Okay, is that movie good? I've never even heard of it. My wife freaked out because she was her late brother loved this movie when he was alive, and she's like, "Oh my God, that was Preston's favorite movie," and I was like, "I've never even heard of it."
I never saw it, but I know it has a reputation for being not that good.
Right. It's great. It's great. It's Bill Murray in The Game, basically, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's like a so bad it's good type, like just really goofball.
Yeah, he thinks it's all something like The Game or whatever, but it's actually happening and stuff like that. He stumbles into something. Oh yeah. Yeah, one of the stupidest lines ever. Just every time I see it, makes me laugh. He gets pulled over by a bobby in London, and they ask for his, "Can I see your papers?" And he just says, "No, you may not." And that's it. That makes me laugh every time. I have no idea why.
Well, okay then. We know what type of humor they like over there in the middle of Canada.
Don't lump me in. Yeah. Just middle of Canada, not me.
I just noticed something. It's not Schmoedown related, but I've got to ask you, Burrito Jones.
Sure.
Is that a Radiohead OK Computer vinyl behind you?
Yes, sir.
Dude, awesome.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, dude, that's OK Computer, isn't it? And I'm just like, okay. Cool.
Now there's two things on your screen I don't like, Snark, but changing my or stealing my Mexican food thing, and now you got a Radiohead? Jeez. Right. All right.
Okay, well, so let's go into the. Oh, yes.
I got something. I thought, and I know subjective and blah blah blah, and all questions can be hard for some people and easy for others. So I just want to know your opinion. How do you guys feel about Ethan's 5-point J. Edgar question?
Soft.
I knew it. I knew it.
2-pointer. I'm sorry. That was, if they didn't say Leonardo in it, then it would have been harder. Yeah. If it was like, this guy I've never heard of played president in this, that would have been hard. But when he said the score, he said the year and then Leonardo, it's like, well, he was only in one movie. Yeah,
like with JFK. It's a trailer. It's a trailer question, right? You don't never have to see that movie in a million years, which I haven't and won't.
Me neither.
And I didn't need to know that guy. I didn't need to know that guy played JFK to get it. Right. I just had to hear JFK and then the only period of JFK Leonardo movie. I think that was a ridiculous easy 5-pointer. I'm sorry, I don't like playing anymore.
No, I understand. It had one context clue too many, and that was Leonardo DiCaprio's name in there. You're right. If you took that out, that movie could be anything because there was a lot of political movies and a few of them with JFK in it. But because you specified the lead actor, it's like, that narrows it right down to one.
You take out him being JFK, that's a 5-point question for sure. Like
that too. Yeah. If you take out one name, that's all it changes.
Yeah. But knowing Leonardo's only in one movie that somebody portrays JFK and you don't even need to know who the heck that guy is to get it. Like it just again, I love the question writers and I don't like nitpicking. But.
To play devil's advocate though, it was easy for us doesn't mean it was easy for Joe Bob next door, right? Like
that's why I asked the four of you guys.
Yeah.
And you're right. And I didn't ask Joe Bob, he's asleep right now. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to know your guys' opinion on it. Maybe I'm way off, but I when I first heard it, I was like, really? It's a 5-pointer? And I really want to know Yama to win. So I was even more.
You have Oyama in your pool, don't you?
Nah, don't worry about it. No, actually, I don't. I don't think I got Oyama at all.
Nice.
I got somebody.
I just love
me.
Oh boy.
Going back to the second round, guys. Do you think people are taking movie release dates for granted? Do you think that, considering how Ben Bateman was the face of it for a short time or whatever on the wheel, and how he did in that match with against JTE and Roca, and then tonight with Oyama saying, "Okay, movie release dates will take it," and stuff like that, and then they're starting throwing. It isn't just regular movies from 1998 and above. They're throwing you 1983 movies. They're throwing you 1970 movies. They're throwing you movies that you had to know that movie came out and stuff like that. You can't infer it. Like I am actually kind of surprised that he missed out on the 1983 question. Maybe it's because I was actually alive in 1983.
Yeah.
So I knew that Octopussy was out, Return of the Jedi, Jaws 3D, and stuff like that, right?
See, I thought Jedi was 82, so I had said 1980.
Right.
Okay, I'll tell you why that question was hard for me because I know all three Star Wars: 77, 80, 83 for the Rich Tridge, and it's the only time a Jaws movie would be it, so it had to be a Rich Tridge. You could have looked at me in the face and said, one of the other two were in any of those years. That was prime for Jaws and like old school James Bond. I thought you could have said 77. You could have said 80 to me. I would have believed any of them. So I actually thought it was
another reason I thought 80 is because I know Superman Returns came out in 1980. I didn't realize it was.
What year did Superman the movie come out?
78.
Superman 3 came out in 83.
See, I thought it was like 84, 85. I didn't realize that was 83.
All right, how far am I off on Jaws, Superman 1, and A New Hope? How close are they? I thought they could have been all
Jaws.
I just did
Jaws 1975.
Yeah.
So so I was
Jaws is 75. Superman movie.
77 for A New Hope.
Yeah, I know that's 77.
78 for Superman the movie.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Now I just knew the other ones were late 70s. And
79 for that.
79, yeah.
All right, so all right. I thought it was a tricky question because it's if you knew what year all the original Tridge came out, it could have been.
I can confirm this. You did get this.
Good job, man.
You did. I can confirm it.
Good job, man.
But I think wasting 2 JTs on something and then going down to 1 is sloppy. And I love Oyama.
Can we talk about that for a second?
That's a little rough.
Yeah, that was surprising, especially in round 2.
That's a little rough.
Yeah.
I mean, going to 1 point. No shame in that if you need multiple choice, it sucks, but do it. But using 2 JTs and then doing it?
Yeah.
You needed 30 seconds to decide to go to multiple choice? That's rough, man.
Well, I kind of understand why he would have done it because Ethan is not somebody you want to give away points to. So I kind of understand, but still not a great tactic.
Honestly, I would have went for it. But that's me. I'm crazy. Yeah. but he even said he was thinking about it. But he's right on this. And this he brought up a really good point where if it comes down to the 5-pointer, which it did, does it matter if you're 1 point or 3 points behind?
It's true.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. With them playing the high level they are, 1 to 4 points means nothing if you're going to go perfect on your round 3. Of course, you don't know you're going to go perfect on your round 3, but seriously, unless the lead gets beyond 4, it's all manageable. I would have risked going to -3, to get that 1 on. Yeah. I would have. But that's a lot of thought for 15 seconds. So.
Pretty much.
Wait, how are you doing? You still awake? Did you change your... Oh, my God. You guys are messy.
I need to wait. I like it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I would have changed it to, Jay? I would have changed it to chimichangas.
Ooh.
Wade Wilson.
I really love chicken and cheese quesadillas with only chicken and cheese, nothing else on it.
That's a long name. That's a very long name.
Yeah, I didn't feel like Googling how to spell that correctly, so I just went with fajita.
Nice.
I was going to change my name, but I'm not going to give you satisfaction. I'm just going to
change your name. If you change your name, we're all just going to follow suit and mock you all over again. So
no, I'm just gonna change it to Mark. Screw it. First time I'm ever gonna use my real name.
No one calls themselves Mark.
No. Who's Mark?
Exactly.
Yeah. So anyways, so enough of our Latino cuisine talk. Let's hop into the main event because we had two people who have quite the sordid history with each other in the league. They were enemies, they were friends, now they're enemies again. Ben Bateman and John Roca. Going into this, Ben Bateman had never beaten Roca in singles play. Roca had his number. What did you guys think? And who did you guys have going into it?
That promo could have been a documentary.
It could have been. Holy shit. That has to be the longest one Nerd Chronic's done yet.
Felt like a documentary.
Yeah.
When you have like 4 music changes.
It was good, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
I had Bateman. I thought Bateman was gonna win this one. He just looking on how they've both looked in previous matches recently. Ben has looked a little bit better, but in my heart of hearts, I was rooting for Roca. 1 because I really like Roca a lot, and 2 because he's on my fantasy league team. So I really wanted those points, but it's okay, man. It's okay. Yeah. It happens. It happens. He put up a hell of a fight, man.
Oh, yeah.
He don't be ashamed about or feel bad about anything.
That for sure.
Yeah.
You go completely perfect. Absolutely nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah. What about you, Snark?
I thought Bateman was going to win. I was quite impressed that Roca kept it so close. But going into sudden death and stuff like that, you could start feeling yourself pull a little bit for Roca. Like it's right there for him and stuff and he's an icon in the league, and you still think he's an underdog against this guy and stuff, right? So you're just thinking, oh my God, it's not Hogan. You just have to feel like if he gets this, what's it going to do for that character and stuff like that? I thought he would just blow up. So I was expecting Bateman to win, but by the end, for sure, I thought I was pulling for Roca. I thought that it, like storyline wise, it would have done a lot more for the league.
That's what it was for me. Like honestly, I'm not either or winning. It's not. Doesn't matter to me. Like both great competitors, it's going to be compelling for me on out. But like you, I wanted to see Roca win because I wanted to see. Call me selfish. I want to see Roca versus Merle at Spectacular.
Oh my God,
main event. Like I mean, that's the one thing I don't like about this thing not being prescripted is we're 50-50 shot on if we're going to get something like that, right?
Yeah, but if it was scripted, you never get Guy Merle, or maybe you would.
You would. You never know, man. 1, 2, 3, kid. Razor Ramon. Look it up.
I remember that. Well, 1, 2, 3 kid was what's his name? It was
X-Pac.
Yeah, X-Pac. I almost said somebody way off. So I'm glad you asked.
What were you gonna say?
Don't worry about it. Mind your own business, Soda. Become a real
Put it in
food.
the chat. Put it in the chat.
I will later. I will later.
Yeah, Doink the Clown. Yeah.
Lex Luger is what I thought. I was way off. Because he had a name first, right? Was it Lex Luger? Some really dumb name?
The Narcissus. Well, see, the total package. The Narcissus made in the USA.
Maybe he just had a really dumb gimmick because he had like a metal plate gimmick when I was like 2 years old.
That's actually legit. The metal plate is legit.
All right. Can we just talk about the Schmoedown? All right.
Yes.
I had Roca going in mostly because I think little baby boy Bateman is annoying and I'd rather have Roca win.
Yes.
That's look for Brandon Hanna on my show.
Yeah.
That's funny because I thought you loved Hanna. Did you say that he was going to win the free for all?
That was the point. Like the point of the Frenchie's Corner thing. I was like, Frenchie brought this up, and I'm like, okay, dude, I rag on Hanna so much, I have to say that he's gonna win. I'm like, right. I have to. But anyway,
I regretted tuning into that show so hard. I tuned into your show, and then I'm like, all right, I'm listening. I think I was on a bike ride with my daughter, like in my trailer, and then all of a sudden you're like, it's gonna go to Hanna, and here I am, my child's life in my hands, biking, angry, adding to the chat. What's wrong with you? I would have got her. It would have been your fault for saying insane stuff. Anyways,
that's not what we're doing. I realized what I was saying, and I couldn't believe what was coming out of my mouth. But at that point, it was too late to turn back. I was
right. I lost my mind. Anyways, yeah, I had Roca going in, and it was the same thing as Oyama. Was Roca looks angry this year, and he just had that fire. And I don't know, I like to cheer against Ben. And it's funny because I'm a, quote, dungeon shill, but I'm not really any type of shill. I go with my head no matter what.
I got it.
Yeah, well, I always want dungeons to win, but I'm not going to go against real odds just because my heart wants something. You know, like I find that really stupid. But anyways, I really wanted Roca to win, and I thought he was going to, and yeah, I was way off. Not way off, but I was a point off.
Yep.
Yeah. He played the best game of his life, and I know he's Roca, so he's gonna let it get to him, and it sucks. I want to hug that scary man right now. Like, hey man, it's okay.
Yeah, especially after the post-match interview, which was a little weird.
Matt, as the resident musical theater guy, I want you to rate John Roca on his musicianship right now. Scale of
better Ben Bateman.
Scale of what, sorry?
1 to 10.
I put it, you know what? I put it at a decent 4.5. Like, obviously, he's got a lot of work to do, but the groundwork is there. It actually wasn't half bad.
Was he playing the note? I thought he was just strumming it.
I didn't even hear the guitar.
It was like,
No, he played it. It was more like one of those. Was like kind of. He was like softly playing it, right? Like it was kind of underscoring.
Yeah.
When he did that, I was like, he really is trying to copy The Rock, because The Rock used to do that.
Hold on, let me go get my guitar, everybody.
Yeah.
When he brought up the guitar, I sighed so
serenade.
loud my camera or my mic didn't pick it up. Like, like my mic's like, no way. I was so upset. I was like, really, guitar right now? Oh my god! And my first thought was like, he's gonna start at Bateman, and then he did. And I was like, all right, here we go.
But I will say I don't know, the whole thing. I thought it was a good shot at Bateman. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
The find me on Spotify.
Yeah, that's
like that made the entire bit worth it.
Yeah,
because that made it worth it.
Yeah. So both of these guys, both of them played really well. Perfect first rounds.
Yeah.
Were perfect in round 2. That was around the time of the hot dog incident.
Yeah, they quadruple Dewberry between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
My notes are nothing. For like, I got round 1 and then Dewberry. Round 2, perfect. 17-17, and then round 3. Miss 5 point. Like that's it. It's 3 lines.
So the note I have for the second round is they regurgitated a question basically from a match earlier this afternoon.
Did they?
Yeah, the Halle Berry, which Oscar winner was in played Sophia in John Wick Parabellum. Oh. And it was the same question worded a little differently in the JTE Paul Preston match when they spun
did that last week. They did that with Star Wars questions last week.
Two of them in the same round that had been used like within the last week or two.
Huh?
Yeah,
I remember that.
I mean, to them, it's not like
as long as it's not the same players, who cares?
Yeah,
they must have slipped through the cracks on that one. Okay. Again, this is around when that cheese thing happened. What happened with the wheel in the second round? Like, did the wrong wheel go up? I missed that.
It was for the Oyama match, right? They put up the wrong wheel.
That's what it was. Okay.
Full disclosure, my wife was taking notes because I was cooking. So I like to cook.
Yeah, tacos. You were cooking tacos. I was hoping.
I was making Italian, actually. I was making pasta aioli with spicy Italian sauce. It was amazing. It was amazing, and it turned out great, and I loved it. And I ate better than all of you guys did today. And Jay Wade, you're just mad that you don't have a wife.
Not really, man. I really enjoy like being able to do anything I want, whenever I want.
Okay. Homeboy, I have a 1-year-old kid, and I have a Star Wars podcast. I apparently have freedom, all right?
Hey, I got a question for you, Taco. You have a kid. You just said that. Does your work involve sugar?
Yes.
So you're a sugar daddy?
Cut the mic.
And on that note,
technically, yes.
Gotta end it there. Whoa.
No. I'll give him that. I just have a request that you only refer to me as daddy for the rest of this. Anyways, I'm kidding. All right, geez. All right, we ended it. So they missed their 5-pointers, huh? Boxing and something? That's crazy.
Yeah. Has anyone seen Annapolis?
Yes.
I forgot until they said boxing. I forgot it was boxing.
Yeah,
I broke it that it was maybe crewing.
I had no. For some reason, I thought it was like swimming. It was the sport as well.
Right.
I thought the whole thing was because I'd never seen it. Right.
My brother. I think my brother had it, but either way, I remember seeing a DVD of it when it came out when I was like in high school, and it had nothing to do with boxing on the cover. It looked like some like Navy Air Force thing
at Annapolis, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. So I remember putting it in, thinking it was a war movie, and I watched the entire movie, and I was like, "What? They still boxing? When's Act 1 the boxing time gonna end?"
Yeah,
it's incredibly misleading.
Here's a question for you. Do you think
thought it was volleyball?
Do you think Roca got that question wrong on purpose because he's an Army man and didn't want to answer a Navy question?
Maybe. But yeah, here's the poster. Where do you get boxing from there?
Yeah, boxing. Duh. What do you
like? That's poor marketing.
Hey, I have a question though. I think Roca. He was thinking right by going with like. I think. Okay, I'm sorry. I think we can all agree that what he really meant was crew, like a crew team. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Now my question is, if that were the correct answer, he said like rowing, boating. Would they have accepted that, or would they have said no because he didn't say crewing?
I mean, I don't know anything about row crew or any of that, but maybe like somebody who does that. So like, don't ever call us boaters. Those guys do that. Like the difference between like swimming and diving. I don't know. Like maybe there's a thing.
Everything I've seen in
a doubt rule that I'm looking at it from that angle.
Yeah.
If anything, rowing would be the broad answer. Crew, I believe that means that there would be at least another person.
Yeah,
you can row a one-man canoe and stuff like that. That's not crew. But as soon as you have
that's
side by side, it's crew.
Is it sad that I only know what row crew is because of Social Network, that movie?
Yes, it is.
I watch that movie all the fucking time while
I love that movie.
I love
the soundtrack.
It's been a minute since I've seen it. It's been a minute.
Snark, who does the soundtrack?
Trent Reznor does that soundtrack.
Hell yeah.
Got a friggin' 9-inch friggin' now.
I think I'm on an island myself on that.
And this is all personal. Do you like the actual soundtrack or the score more in that movie? Because I think they're both so insanely good that it's hard. Like the atmospheric score opposed to the music that they choose in that movie.
I know the score better than I know the soundtrack because I haven't watched the movie again, but I have heard the score since, especially when he got nominated and stuff like that. It's like I gotta revisit this.
Oh, okay, Mr. Radiohead. They play California Uber Alles by Dead Kennedys in that, and that immediately makes me love that soundtrack so much.
Well, I'll go look it up after.
It's super good.
Maybe Roca can sing it for us next week.
Yeah, California. Okay, and then how hard was the surviving the game question? Or like, I actually thought that was
hard target.
Hard target. Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, I didn't know it was hard target, but I absolutely knew it wasn't surviving the game. When I heard hunting people, I was like, well, it's not surviving the game because that's Rutger Hauer hunting Mr. T. Am I insane? I know that off the top of my head. With Gary Busey and John C. McGinley. Where's my freaking Schmoedown? But
I'd love to watch a movie with Rutger Hauer hunting Mr. T because he doesn't pity any fools. But Ice-T, I know that he hunted for a little bit.
Ice-T. Yeah. And Ice-T and Gary Busey have a knife fight. That's worth the mention right there, dude. That's some grade A stuff.
That it was shunned at the Oscars. It's a black mark on the Academy.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyways, I didn't know it was hard target. I thought that was a hard freaking question.
Yeah, I know what
that.
Yeah, I thought. There was a couple of softies for 5-pointers today. I thought that what is it? Going back to which question was it? Somebody got Michael. Oh, sorry. I'm thinking about Paul Preston and his match today. Got got a question about Red Dawn. So I got pretty excited about that.
That's such a great movie.
Yeah.
That was a great question.
Yeah.
And who was it who freaking went after them? Who went after how alike those actors are?
Paul Preston did.
Yeah, Paul Preston.
Ironside and Powers Booth, basically.
Yeah, that's not even one of these three questions. Yeah, that was the Paul Preston match. But that was nuts. And I had to look both of them up, and I'm like, yeah, they are really similar looking.
I'm enjoying the questions a lot more this year. I'm finding. I find that some of them may be on the softer side, just because, granted, the J. Edgar one was maybe the softest 5-pointer I've seen in a long time. At least it didn't affect the outcome of the match. You know what I mean? Unless they could have made it way harder or something like that, and then the guy could have missed or whatever. But I'm enjoying these types of questions. Just as long as they start cooling it on the inferences, it'll be perfect, I think.
I actually really love the question writing this year, and that's why I don't like complaining about a question. But I mean, it's kind of what we do here. We tell our opinions about the episode, and that's was an opinion about the episode, but or about the match. But normally, like, I've really enjoyed the question writing this year, especially when they ask a question that very much could be about like the first movie, but because of the year, it's the sequel. Like, I think those are awesome questions. It's like, hey, who started this and this and this and this in this year? And if you just hear it, you're immediately going to be like, Red 1. And it's like, oh, it's Red 2. Like, because you didn't pay attention to the year. I think those questions are genius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall this year, like, everything about the Schmoedown feels better this year in a way. Partially because of the Skybound money and some of that, but they've been able to hire more writers and they've been able to do all these kinds of things. So we're getting top-notch content right now, and I'm thankful for it.
If only they could do it in person. That's the only thing.
I know. That's the only thing. Like, everything else is just so good about the Schmoedown right now. I'm gonna feel so weird seeing it in person. I'm gonna like. I'm like institutionalized at this point. like I want it this way now.
Yeah, it definitely is weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, do we want to talk about the last question of the 4 rounds of sudden death?
What was the question written down?
I have it up here because
what is
it got me. It got me pretty hard, and I'll explain why. It was, I might butcher the actual question, but it was in what year? I can't remember the year, but it was Adrian Brody and Keira Knightley were in an insane asylum in this movie.
I did not know.
And I knew it. I've never seen it. I'm going back to my brother's DVD collection when we were in high school. He had it, and I just remember seeing the cover because he had like 8 DVDs. And I just always, like, they would sat on his PS2. That's how old I am. And well, Jay Wade's way older and Stark's older than that. But
I'm the baby.
No way.
But dude, you dropped what year you graduated in like a match we had. I won't say it. I won't. But anyways, I just remember the cover with Adrian Brody on it, and it said The Jacket, and I've never watched it.
Yeah.
But like as soon as I heard those things, Insane Asylum, Adrian Brody, I was like, "Is it The Jacket?" And then boom.
That means they wrote the question perfectly, because that is what you want from a really good question. Yep. It's hard and it has enough context clues to make you think your way to the answer. That is a perfectly written question.
But clearly you can answer it without seeing it. I answered it and I never seen it.
Yeah, but you had to dig deep for it.
You had to dig deep for it.
You had to know Adrian Brody's filmography.
I just saw the DVD when I was like 16. That's not digging.
I saw that
digging deep into my brain, but
I've ever seen Adrian Brody in the movie theaters was I went with my buddy to watch The Jacket. I remember who was in it. I don't remember much else and stuff. I think I
remember more because I haven't seen it.
The only one of his I've seen in theaters was Predators.
Wow.
Right before I saw Sorcerer's Apprentice, like literally back to back. It was a weird double bill.
Evil Topher Grace.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to lie, I didn't see coming.
Yeah, well, no shit.
That was
anyways, I don't like any type of Topher Grace. Unless he's in the 70s. But so it ended 24-23 after, I want to say, 5 rounds of sudden death, or 4 rounds. It was 4 or 5 rounds of sudden death. That was insane. That I mean, I kind of wish it was a 5-round match and it went 51-50. But
it's weird when you get a pay-per-view and one of the matches is in 5 rounds, because normally we'd just be starting right now.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and both of these matches, in my eyes, are huge matches, that easily could have been number one contenders or tournament championships. Like they could have been. Normally, number one contenders aren't 5 rounds, but you know what I mean. Like they could be huge matches that are 5 rounds.
Wait, I thought number one contenders were 5 rounds.
Only when they're tournament champions.
Oh, okay. Only for the tournament final. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just bringing up something. So what's the pay-per-view next week?
Let me look real quick. I'm pulling up MTS site right now.
Yeah,
Somebody
me
has
too.
more than one screen. Go ahead.
No, man.
I got a laptop on a TV tray in my bedroom, man. Don't ask me to do things.
Oh, it's the Star Wars tournament final.
Yeah.
With the undercard of Chandru versus Robert Parker for the number one contendership.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Parker.
hey, speaking of Parker, a plug here. We got Robert Parker on Speaking of Schmoedown tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. And I looked at the time because hey, I'm subscribed to you. Don't let it go to your head. Mostly because I've been on it once, and if you allow me on, I'll subscribe. That's the only reason I subscribed to Schmoes of the North.
Wow.
And look, he's on the show now. Go figure, eh?
Not in that order.
Yeah, no, right?
But
He still hasn't watched an episode of the show, by the way.
Perfect.
Certain people don't let that. Don't forget that. Like they don't they do not let that go. Certain members of the Schmoes of the North, and I won't call them out, will not drop that. But anyways,
I've only watched like a few seconds to see something, but I've never watched the full episode either because I hate watching myself on camera. Always have.
if this was a 10-minute show, but whatever. I feel so self-gratifying to stare at myself for an hour and a half. Like, what are you doing? But anyways, I did check what time that was going to be, Jay Wade, and I was this close to be like, hey, you need a co-pilot with Robert Parker? But no, I'm in full dad mode tomorrow. So
I'll just do it with the kid on your lap.
Nope,
that's true.
She is never going to be in front of a camera.
Yeah,
ever.
you're not like some other people I know. Luke.
No, definitely not. She is not. You guys are not allowed to see my kid.
Well, okay, so since none of us are going to actually no, I'm on the Sunday show, but since none of you guys are going to be on our Sunday show, I want to get your predictions on who you have going into next week's pay-per-view. Because like I said, we have the undercard of Chandru versus, well, now it was announced that Parker won for the number one contendership in Inner Geekdom. Who do you guys have going into that one?
Parker.
Chandru.
Parker. Oh,
yeah,
easily Parker.
Me too. I think Chandru might still be rattled from his big loss. But hey, it's one of those, it's kind of like what Bateman Roca was for me. I'm not going to be upset who wins. But this is
two perfect matches. What else do you got to do, man?
God,
he hasn't missed a question this year.
Chandru's got the belt.
Just saying.
And okay, so for the tournament final, who is playing in the Star Wars tournament final? It is Harper and
Harper.
Oh, that's
right. Do I only know the?
Oh no,
does everybody know the next person?
That's the first match this week. So it's going to be Harper who faces.
Hold on. I'm not going to gripe on this. I'm just going to point something out because I think it's kind of funny.
Okay.
We're all patrons, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know where you're going, and I'm mad about it too. Yeah.
So Monday they didn't release the match because they needed to edit out some spoilers. Okay. So then they edit out the spoilers. They dropped the match Tuesday for patrons, and they fucking spoiled the Burkett and Gold Leader match. Clear as day. Christian says
we don't need to do it. Yeah.
Of who Thomas Harper will be playing for the championship. And I'm like, dude, that match hasn't even aired yet.
Say that again?
Yeah.
I haven't watched the match yet. What happened?
They just dropped it. They dropped it twice of who he's playing. They say, oh, so you're playing blank. I won't do it here. But I had to go second guess, like, was that person's last match? Like, I thought they already had it. And then I learned, oh, cool. So it got spoiled. And they dropped it twice. You're playing blank in the tournament championship. So
is it who I'm thinking it is, Taco?
I'm not saying anything. If I can lead you to it, it might lead somebody else.
Tell me off air because I personally give two shits about
Snark. Have you seen it? Do you know who we're talking
I
about?
watched the match, but I watched the edited version. I watched.
Okay, so if I put it in the private chat,
I just want to look
they
at the
say it in the
chat.
edited. They say it in the edited version.
Yeah,
then I didn't pay attention, so that's good.
Unless they changed it.
Unless they
for Wednesday
a second time and then uploaded it.
I watched the YouTube version.
Oh,
I didn't watch the Patreon version.
Why do I have to put it in the private chat? Like, I'm friends with you, Soda. Just send you a direct message. Like, what? I can't only just talk to you through the.
Okay, so I don't know. The other two don't know. Who? Okay, Taco knows. Who do we have going into that one? I'm gonna go with Go Leader because he's my boy. I love Evan, so I'm gonna go with him. Yeah.
Is Gold Leader Canadian?
No.
Then fuck him. I don't care.
Okay.
Nobody is my partner.
Just to do something different.
He is my partner on Let's Talk About Star Wars on the Schmoes of the North. It's great because you got two Americans are running a show on Schmoes of the North. They only keep Soda as the producer just to keep us a little maple.
Pretty much. And because I'm the only one with a login.
Well, I don't really want. Like, I can do it all.
You just don't.
I just rather you do it.
What a bragger!
I just don't want to do it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Schmoedown 9 in Canada. Jay Wade, where can everybody find you?
Y'all can find me on the Twitter at JWade1134. That's the letter J, WADE 1134, and also at the JCast Network on Twitter and the JCast Network on YouTube. Speaking of Schmoedown on Saturdays, live 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Soda will be on tomorrow, as well as Chris Lopez and of course Dan Dolinsky, our numbers guy. But I do want to a quick tease here. There was a couple questions from the Star Wars match with Harper and Ace. I'm just going to say one of them was not canon, and the other one was a quote that was not in the movie. I'm not going to harp on these at all. I'm just saying that I reached out to PJ Campbell. I asked him for a comment on this, and he did give me a comment, which I will read on the show tomorrow. And having said that, I want to reiterate what was said earlier, that the question writing has been above par this year. It's been amazing, especially in the Star Wars division. Mistakes happen, and that's fine. And you know, I asked PJ, reached out for a comment, and he gave me one. So I'll share that tomorrow on the show.
I write an awful lot of questions about the same 10 movies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's why I'll never disparage the writers, is because they do something that I could never do. I did it for one match and I was overwhelmed. I mean, they're the unsung, one of the unsung heroes of the Schmoedown. So
absolutely,
I think they're literally the writers.
Right now,
the writers are the unsung heroes.
Okay,
like they
right
are
now,
the unsung
yes. But I mean, when we start doing things as like the producers and stuff too, that's why I said one of the things. But right now, they definitely are unsung. All right, Snark, what about you? Where can everybody find you?
Well, I've got a show on Schmoes of the North called Snark's Midlife Crisis.
When was the last one?
I was going to say it happens intermittently at best. It shows up like a special surprise every once in a while. You've been on it. That was still my favorite thing I've done with it, was watch Hamilton. Yeah. And as going forward, there's ideas. Just finding time to do it is a hell of a thing. Mm-hmm. There's a certain Quebecois guy that doesn't seem to have much time. Yeah. And I'm in negotiations to start another show. Hopefully Matt will join me. It's going to be called Wiener Talk.
I was like, oh, you do you?
And full circle, everybody. That's called entertainment. That's Wiener Talk.
We'll be comparing things, sausages from all 7 continents, edible and otherwise. Anyways,
penises.
Yeah. Don't bring your kids.
And Jay-Way can tell you about the injury he got at work. Anyways, moving on.
Okay, that's after we're off. Taco, what about you?
All right, you can find me on this channel. In fact, you just stay on it for about less than 24 hours, and I'll be here with Gold Leader aka Evan, Taco Abouting Star Wars. That's not what it's called. And and we are actually doing a really cool video tomorrow. We talk about all kinds of stuff, but we're doing Cal Kestis, the lead from the Jedi Fallen Order video game. We're pinning him up against the Grand Inquisitor from Rebels. So we're breaking down all of his lightsabers, both of their lightsaber skills, their force, everything, and we're deciding who would win in a fight. I wrote the script today. It's my first script under 2 pages. It's almost 1 page. It's just slightly more. I had to just leave all the jokes in my brain. So
there you go.
But yeah, but anyways, I'm really pumped for this. It's canon versus canon, which I've never done before. so yeah, it would be really great. And I believe we have Chris Anthony Lopez on it. So he's doing 2 shows tomorrow.
And busy guy.
Yeah, busy guy. And I'm super excited for that matchup. It's a really cool one.
Yeah, it's honestly, we've only done 2 episodes, but it is one of my favorite things to do because I just love messing with you guys.
Yeah,
and because I'm behind the scenes, the only reason you know I'm there is because occasionally I'll throw the wrong picture up or I'll throw up a random banner that has to do with the topic. Like I'm trying to do a Cody Hall.
Always the right picture.
Yeah, yes, it is, Taco. Okay, and as for myself, you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. Yeah, you can find me all over this channel, on this show, Northern Consultations, whenever that comes back, Producing Taco's show. You can find me over on my other channel, the Media Sways Network, where I do several shows over there, recapping the past. For me and my friend Ben, we recap, we review seasons of our favorite sitcoms. Right now, we're doing Friends, which is a lot of fun. Forgot how much I liked that show. And then there's also Shooting the Breeze, where we sit down with our friends for about an hour and just talk about whatever they want. Jay Wade's been on there. I'll never forget the cannibalism talk. Dear Lord. Yeah, it's some wacky shit.
There is an order to it. That's all.
What was the first one again? No, the first one was something was not weird, was it?
Yeah, well, the first one is the kids. Because I mean, if you're to the point where you're going to have to start eating, like killing people,
then you
want to do the first because you don't want them living through that. Then you do the old people, and then third is fatties. So I'm very.
We're last.
Okay.
I do recommend listening to that show.
Where's Your Dead on that one? Is it Dead first? Isn't Eat Your Dead first?
Well, no, yeah. I mean, I'm talking once you get to that point where you no one is dying, and you're going to have to start killing people in order to eat.
You're the one dude who's been like, all right, it's day 2. Let's kill the children.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a pretty boss move to start eating someone in front of them. It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, no one ever said you got to kill the guy.
Mouth.
Let's just sacrifice our arms, then our legs. We'll all be fine.
But yeah, so that's where you can find me, and of course, Producing Taco Show every Saturday night. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe to Schmoedown the North, Media Sways Network, and the JCast Network, because there's a lot of great people, a lot of great content over there. I've been on his Speaking of Schmoedown show a few times. It's always a riot to be on there. So on behalf of myself and these 3 gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We will see you Sunday for the next edition of Schmoedown Night in Canada. Stay sweaty, everybody.